So let's work on the edit view. I'll open that and we'll add the genres here. So remember, this is the view that we use to add a new record or edit existing record. So we need to have another input for the genre. So after here, I'm going to add another div tag. Once again, I'm gonna style it with form group. And I'm going to add a label. And I'm going to bind this label to genre ID. Not the genre. Genre is an object. We need to bind it to a single property, so that's gonna be the ID. And I'll call it genre. Now, since we want the user to be able to select from all the genres and assign the correct genre to the song, the best way to do that is using a drop-down. So instead of a text box or some radio buttons or whatever, we will have a drop-down that will list all the genres. So after the label, I'm going to use the select, which is gonna create the drop-down, and I'm going to bind this to the ID as well. So ASP4 is going to be bound to genre ID. And I'm going to style it with the form control. So that's the bootstrap class I'm styling it with. Now inside the dropdown, the default genre I want to display is actually none. I want to display a text that will say select a genre. So that's gonna be our option. So in the option, I will set the value to be blank because nothing is gonna be selected. Instead, I will use a text select a genre. And then I will add all the genres. And since this is a list of genres, I'm going to use a for each loop. And we are looping through the object of genre in, and this is where our view bag is. Remember, in our song controller, we created this view bag that has the property genres, and it gets the list of all genres. So we are going to loop through this view bag. So we'll go to viewbag.genres, and that's what we are looping through. And one by one, we will add them to the list. So we'll create an option for each of them. And this time, the value is gonna be generated from the loop. So we'll go to our genre dot, and we'll generate the genre ID. So it's gonna be bind to the genre ID, but the text that we want to display, of course, is not the ID of the genre. We want to display the name of the genre associated with this ID. So we'll go and display the genre.name. Alright, let's see if it works. So here are our songs. I'm going to add one. And you can see now we have a genre dropdown and it says select genre. When I click it, here are all the available genres. So I'm going to create another test song. Let's say 1999 is the year. And let's say I'm not gonna select any genre first. I'm just gonna basically get an error. And a rating is 5, for example. I'll click add, and it says please enter genre. So it recognizes that this is not a valid genre. So this song, for example, can be a hip hop. I'm going to add it, and you can see here is my test song. And it's a hip hop, the year is correct, and the rating is correct. So now let's edit. And let's say I want to change the genre to metal. And I'll name it test song 2. Click edit. And now you can see it's metal and test song 2. So that works. Now let's click delete. And I'm going to confirm deletion of the test song 2 that was released in 1999. So these values are correct. I'll click delete, and the song is gone. So we are pretty much finished. There is still one thing I want to change though. For example, when I go to click add new song, the URL is alright. It says song/add. However, URLs should be lowercase. That is the standard that is recommended. Now, in our case, this simply takes the action and the controller. So those are named with uppercase. So what we can do is to create user-friendly URLs that will make these lowercase. So let's create those next.